Good morning, everybody. I'd like to add my thanks to Dave for coming today, because it is a beautiful day and I was a bit worried that people would find better things to do with the time, but I hope by the end of today you'll realise this is a really good use of your time. As Dave said, I work at Weston Park Hospital. I manage the radiotherapy department, and I started in radiotherapy in 1975. So I've been here a long time. As my staff will say to me, you're one of the dinosaurs. However, I'm hoping I'm a dinosaur that's evolved, and I hope today will show you how radiotherapy has evolved. So this is me, and I'd like to say special thanks to Tim Cooper, who's the Associate Director at the National Cancer Action Team, for loaning me some of his slides today. Right, 2011 was the year of radiotherapy, so you may think, so what? I presume there's quite a few of you in the audience that actually didn't know there was a year of radiotherapy last year. So basically what I want to go through is, what was it? Also, why was it needed? Why did we have to have something special that was done nationally to raise awareness of radiotherapy? What was the outcome of the year of radiotherapy? And also, where do we go next? Right, first of all, what was it? Well, it was a national initiative to raise awareness of radiotherapy, and today, obviously this is about raising awareness, but actually nothing much had been done before then. So what we needed to do was have an approach nationally to raise awareness of what radiotherapy is, what radiotherapy isn't, and what radiotherapy can do. We need to dispel the myths about radiotherapy. There's a lot that goes on the news that are always the shock horror stories. Unfortunately, the press and the news stations tend to want the sensational news stories. They don't tend to go for the good news stories. We don't tend to get the "and finally" at the end of a news programme. Also, the nuclear reactor disasters, the Chernobyl and the one in Japan more recently, have tended to give a bad press to radiation, and people link radiotherapy, oh, it's radiation, it's bad. We need to educate the general public. People are becoming more and more involved in their own care, as they should be. So we need to educate people so that if they ever have a diagnosis of cancer, and 1 in 3 of us will have a diagnosis of cancer, so we are current and future patients, we need to know what is available, what actually is going to work for us, so that we can discuss this with our carers and with the medical professionals that we'll come into contact with. We also need to educate healthcare professionals. I know through my career, when I've said to people who work within the health service, I'm a therapy radiographer, they'll say, what? They don't know what a therapy radiographer is. And subsequently, radiotherapy, they may have heard about it, but they don't know very much about it. So we need to educate our colleagues. We held many local events, and when I say we, I'm talking about nationally. The radiotherapy departments across the UK held a number of events, which some were successful in getting it on the news channels, others sort of in press, and we certainly had some spreads in the Star, which is the local paper in Sheffield. We held open days. We've been to different conferences, put posters up, etc. So this happened across the UK, not just in North Trent. And again, we tried to get the national and local press involved to do the good news stories, to say, actually, radiotherapy is not that bad. Radiotherapy can cure cancer. Radiotherapy has cured me. It wasn't the horrendous experience that tends to be portrayed in dramas on television. So why was it needed? The YouGov survey that was carried out in January 2010, before the year of radiotherapy, the people that they surveyed, actually only 5% thought radiotherapy was reassuring. Only 9% thought it was modern. Only 15% thought it was precise. Only 24% thought it was effective. Only 9% thought it was outdated. 44% thought it was gruelling. And that's an enormous amount of people that use the word gruelling to describe radiotherapy. And 40% thought it was frightening. So back to the dispelling myths. We've got to do something about this. If people are frightened of coming for radiotherapy, that's not the right way to start for an individual and for a service. So, what was the outcome of the year of radiotherapy? Again, the YouGov survey in December 2011 surveyed a similar number of people. Now only 39% thought it was gruelling, so we've gone down 5% from January. 28% thought it was effective, 4% increase. 7% thought it was outdated, 2%. 17% precise, again 2%. These are not massive changes, but actually it's going in the right direction. So yeah, it's helping. The year of radiotherapy did help. So where next? Obviously we need to continue with what we're doing. The changes were small, but we're in the right direction, so we were doing it right. We need to increase what we're doing. We need to continue with public education and awareness. And again, days like this will certainly help. We need to engage with commissioners. We need to be able to develop services when and where they're needed, and the services that are needed. We need to respond to public expectations. The public are becoming much more aware of what's available. They are getting a voice. It's not a case of many years ago when whatever the doctor said went, you didn't have a choice in it. Public expect different things now, quite rightly. And certainly later today there'll be a talk on where radiotherapy services could be cited in the future. Again, and I think this probably should have been at the top of the list, and I apologise for that, to engage with users. What do the people want that are using our services? Now, this is not just the patient, this is the carers as well. What can we provide to make the experience better all round? Because cancer affects everyone connected with that patient. It is not just the person. It is something that is life-changing for the family, for the friends. We need to engage with users to improve our services. We need to continue with innovative research. Things are changing all the time. Technology gets better. We are finding out new things, different aspects of cancer. We need to carry on with this, and certainly within North Trent, we need to be at the forefront of this. As we do this, we need to develop the staff, because the staff have to respond to the changes in technology, to the changes in what the public are expecting from us. For example, we expect sort of Meadow Hall to be open in an evening so that we can actually go and shop after work. Should we be looking at radiotherapy being delivered out of hours so people can get on with the day job, or people can bring them after they've finished the work, they can bring their relatives to come for radiotherapy? Should we be a 9 to 5 service? Should we be expanding that? So we need to develop staff to work flexibly and to work with the new technologies. So, back to the title, Radiotherapy Can Cure Cancer, and this is just some very quick stats. I promise I won't bore you to death with this. Radiotherapy is involved in the treatment of 40% of people that are cured of cancer. Now that is an enormous amount. And radiotherapy is the primary treatment used in 16% of those cured of cancer. So that's the first line treatment. If it's radiotherapy, it will cure 16% of people that are cured. So radiotherapy is cutting edge. And these are some of the technologies that you'll be hearing about later in the day. Intensity modulated radiotherapy, or IMRT as it tends to be shortened. This is something that now is becoming a much more commonplace. Sheffield delivered its first treatment with the IMRT in August 2003. So it's not new, it's just getting better, it is becoming more the standard treatment. Image-guided radiotherapy. Again, we can deliver treatment more accurately, so we need to see where the treatment is being delivered more accurately and actually respond to any changes in tumour size, shape, etc. So again, image-guided radiotherapy. New technology. Stereotactic body radiotherapy, and this is the treatment to very high doses of radiation to very small areas. And proton beam therapy, again, there is a talk later today, so I'll not go into that. But again, it's something that wasn't available in the UK, and now it is going to become available in a couple of sites in the UK. Radiotherapy is cost effective. Our machines are quite expensive, and Stephen Tozer-Loft, who is our head of radiotherapy physics at Weston Park, is sat in the audience, and since he's been making these business cases for the past umpteen months, I think sure he will agree that we have to sort of account for every penny. And these machines are about £1.2 million to buy, excluding VAT. You can tell we've been doing business cases, can't you? But actually, these machines have a lifespan of 10 years. And each year we deliver over 60,000 fractions of radiotherapy. So that is a lot of treatment for that money. European estimates, and these are quite a few years old, so there will be some change, but I think it gives you more of a sense of the proportion. Radiotherapy costs less than €3,000 per course of radiotherapy. Surgery costs around €7,000. And chemotherapy is a massive €17,000. So if you compare it with the other treatments that are used to treat cancer, it is very, very cost effective, particularly when we take into account the cure rate that's been indicated earlier. I'd like to say thank you for listening to me, and I hope you enjoy the day, and I hope that you will go away from today with a better understanding of what's available in radiotherapy today, and that you will spread the word for us. Thank you.